This lesson is on naming and measuring angles. When we have an angle, it is composed of two rays. So notice here we just talked about rays. So this would be ray AB and ray AC. It's composed of two rays that have a common endpoint. So in this case, that common endpoint is point A. Point A is considered the vertex. It's where the two rays meet. And we can name an angle in different ways. Notice we're going to use this little angle symbol for each one of them. And if there's just one angle at the vertex, so for instance, notice there's just angle A here, we can call it angle A. Typically, we're going to use three letters. The middle letter is going to be the vertex. So if I said angle BAC, that means I could follow it. BAC tells me that that's the angle I'm referring to. CAB would be CAB. Again, that's the angle that I'm referring to. Notice this one is a little bit different because at point A, I have this angle, we'll call this angle 1, and this angle, which is angle 2. So if I said angle A, you wouldn't know if I'm talking about angle 1 or angle 2 or possibly the entire angle. We'll just call that angle 3. So there are three different angles there, so I can't really just say angle A. I can say BAD, so BAD would be angle 1, DAC would be angle 2, and then BAC would be obviously angle 3, the entire angle. Now notice here there's a little m in front. That means when they ask us something like that, they're saying find the measure of that angle, which is what we're going to do in a little bit. So that would be finding the measure of the angle. When we measure angles, we use a tool called a protractor. Obviously I have a picture of a protractor here, but to use a protractor, we are going to line up our first ray with the center point of the protractor and all the way out to 0. So notice this goes out to 0. And then from there, then I should be able to find the measure of angle. So it says find the measure of angle BAD. So again, that's BAD. So we're talking about this angle. So I would count from 0 and say, well, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So this is 60 degrees. Make sure that you label with the degree sign. So 60 degrees. Angle BAC, BAC is that big angle. So from here, I would count all the way over to 140. Again, notice that's the number there is 140 degrees. And then DAC, DAC is this angle. And I have a couple of choices here. I can either start at 60 and then count. So from 60, I would go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So it's 80 degrees. My other option would have been to take the 140 and subtract the 60 that I already knew to find that what was left over is 80. Take a few moments to find the measures of all of the angles listed here and then press play to check your work. So angle BAD, BAD is right here. Again, that's already lined up at 0, so that one's fairly easy. That's 40 degrees. Angle DAC, DAC would be from 40 to 80. So again, I could just take 80 minus 40 or count by tens. Again, that's 40 degrees. What I want you to notice about these two is that they have the same angle measure. These are called congruent. Congruent angles have the same angle measure. Angle BAC, so BAC includes the first 40 and the second 40. That's the 80 degrees total. BAE goes all the way over to 140 again. And then DAE, again, I can just subtract 140 minus 40 to get 100, or I could obviously count by tens.